Hey there. Think about your day. Do you brush your teeth every morning? Of course. Do you maybe watch movies on the weekend? Well, to talk about all of our habits and routines, we need a few special words. And in this explainer, we're going to learn 5 really simple words that tell us how often we do things. You ready? Let's jump right in.
So here's our plan. First, we're just going to listen to a quick, natural chat. Then we'll look at a simple scale so we know exactly what these words mean. After that, I'll show you 2 super easy rules for using them, and we'll finish up with a little practice. I promise. It's going to be simple and fun. All right, first things first. Let's just listen. We're about to hear a really normal, everyday conversation. It's a great way to hear how these words sound when people are just, well, talking. Now, as you listen in, try to think about your own life, your own daily routine. How often do you do these things? No pressure, just listen for now.
Do you eat breakfast in the morning?
Yes, I usually eat breakfast in.
I'm often busy, so I sometimes have breakfast at work.
Really? I always drink coffee before I leave home.
Nice. I never drink coffee. I prefer tea. Okay, did you hear them? We heard always, usually, often, sometimes, and never. We just heard them in a real conversation, so now let's break down what they actually mean.
So, what's the difference between usually and often? How often is often, anyway? Let's take a look at a really simple scale that makes it all clear. Okay, just think of it like this. On a scale from 100% down to 0. If you do something all the time, 100%, you always do it. If you do it most of the time, say 80%, that's usually. For things you do a lot, maybe 60% of the time, we use often. And if it only happens once in a while, maybe 30%, we say sometimes. And what about 0%? Easy, that's never.
All right, you know what the words mean. Now for the grammar. But hey, don't worry, this is the best part. For these words, there are only 2 simple rules to remember about where they go in a sentence. Just 2, I promise.
And here they are. Rule number 1, for almost all verbs, like eat, work, play, go, the adverb comes right before the verb. But, and this is the only trick, for rule number 2, with the special verb to be, am, is, and are, the adverb comes after it. Let's see exactly what that looks like.
So here's rule 1 in action. Our verb is eat. That's the normal verb. So the adverb, usually, just slides in right before it. I usually eat. See? Simple.
And now for rule 2. Here, the verb is am, which, is a form of to be. So what happens? The adverb often comes after it. I am often busy. You see that difference? It's the only one you need to remember.
Fantastic. You've got the meanings, and you've got the 2 rules. You're doing great. So for our last section, let's just look at a few more sentences to make sure all of this really sticks. Let's look at these together, okay? I always brush. The verb is brush, so always comes before it. Perfect. Next, she is usually early. Aha, the verb here is, so usually comes after. You got it. They often go. That's before. He sometimes forgets. Before again. And we never watch also before. See how it works? It's pretty easy once you see the pattern. So let's just sum it all up. These words we've been looking at, always, usually, often, sometimes, and never, they have a name. They're called adverbs of frequency, and their job is really simple. They just tell us how often something happens.
Okay, now it's all you. Your turn. Think about your own life. What's something that you never do on weekends? For me, I never do laundry on weekends. So try to make your own sentence. It's truly the best way to practice. Thanks so much for joining me today.